Hey guys, it's Mike coming back with another video. This is a long overdue video from my buddy Tony, who a long time ago asked me to do a Johnny Bench Oddballs card video. Hey Tony, I hope you're doing well. I hope I'll see you at the National, Lord willing. But I mainly collect for Bench just Topps products. And I haven't collected the modern since 18 because Topps just keep reissuing tons and tons of the same product over and over, same designs, and many types, same um, subsets and stuff. And it just got to be where I thought I was chasing my tail all the time. But I did, and I don't have a lot of non-top stuff, but I do have some and a few oddball items. So Tony, let's do some of this for you. Topps did put out some kind of oddball items, so I'll show you those for sure. I do collect non-top stuff for unusual patches. If you know anything about Bench, and a lot of players in the 70s, a lot of their patches on most products are one or two colors. This was put out by Prime Cuts. This one is number 2 out of 6. Exceptional patches. In 1976, they put a shoulder arm patch on the sleeve that commemorated the centennial, and in 1976, the bicentennial. And they this one has got the patch chopped up in 3 pieces. Prime Cuts was an amazing product back in the day. Before Panini got a hold of them, but beautiful patch. It's kind of odd that you see anything like that, so I'm kind of starting with those. And another Prime Cuts. This one's exceptional also. These patches here, I mean, it's the same, they got it from the same jersey, I'm sure. And just unbelievable. This one's number 2 out of 2. You just don't see patches like that for Bench. This is rare. As far as I know, unless something's changed in the last year, this is the only button card ever made for Bench. There's like 4 or 5, like numbered, out of 4, or maybe it's numbered out of 5. This is the actual one of one. There you go. And like I said, it's unusual. I'm sure they've had a lot of Bench jerseys over the years. Why they haven't issued any button card jerseys, I don't know. This is the only one that I've ever seen. And you know how National Treasures does a lot of that type of stuff. But for Bench, this is the only button card I've ever seen. So that is pretty awesome. For patches, Bench doesn't, like as I said, have a lot of great patches. This is I think it's a 2005 Sweet Spot Classic. And this one is, I think, off the 1967 spring training jersey. He was there in 67 at spring training. And I would say this is probably one of the jerseys he wore. So this is like super old. About as early as you're going to get it for a patch for Bench. And this is the only product I've ever seen that used this jersey. I've never seen one besides that. And I've had like 3 of these. I've sold a couple, but I still got this one. And that's just crazy for Bench. You won't get a better patch just about than that. Well, there's a few that's out there, but that's pretty crazy. This is a Bazooka issue. In 1971, Bazooka Bubblegum. This was there's one that's unnumbered and there's one that's numbered. This is the numbered one. This is the much harder to find, especially in good shape, but pretty rare piece there. And then we got this it says 68 Partridge Meats, but I've been told that this was issued like early 70s, up to early 70s. So I don't think it's from his rookie year, but it's early. And it's just a promotion for Partridge Meats. They did a series of other different companies with the same picture, except it has at the bottom different companies. But this is real nice. This is a SGC 6. Beautiful piece. This is a test issue here. This is the 1974 puzzle. Um, it's graded as authentic. Now, I've been told that recently they don't grade these, they won't slab these anymore. I've heard a lot of complaints about PSA and SGC that the more weird stuff or harder to, I guess, slab stuff, they won't do anymore. I've had people tell me they won't do these puzzles anymore. Um, I've seen postcards they won't do anymore. It's a shame. It used to cater to the collector. They don't do that anymore. All people want to do is get them in a nice uniform condition in a slab, keep them safe, and so they don't get damaged or lose a piece or whatever, like for this puzzle. But this is really a really very cool piece that they did in '74, and I'm glad to have it. They do have a proof of this, which is the whole thing before it was cut up. And you do see them, but they're super expensive now. And this is a very popular oddball item. These are mostly test issues. This is 1971 Topps Greatest Moments. Very famous card, so to speak, or famous set. Very, very popular. This one's got a SGC 6. So, just a tough card. You do see them. They do pop up. So they did get out a little bit, but they're not that common. And they are very pricey for some of the players that are hard to find. Bench is not easy to find. He's probably more in the middle, I guess. Let's see here. Then we're going to let's go over here. This is something I do collect. I don't think I'm going to keep these anymore, but these are programs from all his earlier years. So this is kind of oddball. This is he started in 1965. He was drafted, and he played the first year at the Tampa Tarpons in Florida. This is a 1965 program from that team. That was his rookie year. Then he went to 1966. He played for the Peninsula Grays, War Memorial Stadium. And this is a program from 66. And this is also a 66 program. He was bumped up to AAA, the Buffalo Bisons. Really cool, nice program from that. In 67, these are spring training programs. That patch there, it's probably the jersey he was wearing during these. This was from March 30th of 67. Bench is famous for being number 5. He was 53 in his from the 67 and such. But spring training. Did they put numbers on here? No, it's not on this one. Must be a different one. Anyway, this is a cool spring training program. And let's see here. I got some more 67s, I think. Yeah, this is a Pittsburgh Pirates 67. This is a Philadelphia Phillies 67. And then he played I'm sorry, when I showed you I'm sorry, on that 66, he played like a game or two in Buffalo in 66. Then he went to then he stuck with the Bisons in 67. And I got a couple of these programs here. And he played against Columbus. There's a couple. These are all AAA folders from 67. Here's Syracuse Chiefs. With an interesting cover. Kill the umpire. And this is a 67 program. Now, these are the Reds programs. I've been collecting these. I've kind of stopped. I might sell these, actually. This is the program from his first game ever. As a Red in 67. Now, he is a Rookie of the Year in 68 because he only played in a handful of games in 67. But this is from his first game. It's signed by Joe Nuxall, Dave Bristol, the manager. There's a Pete Rose autograph. Vada Pinson. It's got a lot of nice autographs. I wish if his was on it, that would be pretty crazy. But this is his original first game program. And this is the second game he played in. This is 829. This one was 828 of 67. What's funny was this guy got this one signed at the National a few years ago. And Bench told him that this was his rookie game, first game. Now, I go by looking inside the programs, and back then they would pre-print all the players in there based on the lineup for that night, which I don't know how they did, but they did do it because you can go through Baseball Reference and you can actually verify the lineups and date the program based on who they were playing and what order the player, who batted first, second, third, and such. So by looking at Baseball Reference, this program's actually 62, his second game, not his first game. But the guy got it signed, and later on he sold it to me. And I got a bunch more. This is from his third game, and I got the first hit. People used to get things signed a lot back then. This is signed by Pete Rose. This is his fourth game, Joe Nuxall. And then we're going to skip through here. Got a few rookie things here. This is really neat. This is a 68 program at Crosley Field, his rookie year. This one has Rose on the cover, but it is signed by Johnny. So that is a vintage signed 1968 rookie program there, which I think is exceptional. This is a 1960, I think this is April of 68. This is a photograph, a snapshot. I bought it at an auction a while back. And it's dated on the back. I think it's April of 68. So this is early in the season. And this is another 68 program. Then I got this. This is just a part of a program. This has got Bench signed. It's early. I'm not for sure what year that is. I'm thinking it's 68 or 69. This is a cool one. This is from 71. It's got Clemente on the cover. It's a Pirates scorebook for 71. It's got Bench on the cover with him. Very cool. And then I got another one here for the Phillies, and it's got him. I think he just won. He won his first year of 68. He won his first MVP in 1970, 2 years later. And I think this is from 70. Could be 72, but this is very cool to have a picture of him on the front of a Phillies program. And here's one against the Astros. I like these action shots they put on. They don't do much of that kind of stuff anymore. And that would do it for now. Those are my programs. So if you want a little oddball, that's a little strange. You don't see people collect those much anymore. Then we're going to go over here. And this is just a top super. But this is actually the blank back proof. So if you've ever seen super cards, they got rounded corners on them. And this one's got square corners. And it's blank on the back. Some people call them proofs. I'm not for sure. I've seen a few of these. I don't know how many proofs they would have made. That's real nice. Graded a 7. And here's a rare one coming up. This is another oddball issue, the 1974 Topps Decal Edge, which is those scalloped edges you see on there. This is the regular issue that, for the most part, the common one. And I'm not for sure the story on the 7. This is the white back. And it's much, much harder to find. And I saw one just went at auction, and it got a pile of money. I was shocked how much it went for. And it was not in very good shape either. So these are obviously very collected right now, these 74 Decal Edge. And the last, let's see here. Let's go up here. This is a little stack of progressive proof cards. These are cards that were made back today. You have printing plates, and I'm sure you're familiar with them. They come in 4 colors. They come in the cyan or blue, and they come in magenta, and they come in yellow, and they come in black. These are the actual, when back in the day, instead of being on aluminum plates, they made these proof cards to make sure all the inks were how they looked before all the colors were blended together. This is a 72 tops. And that's the cyan, and this is the yellow. And this is the in action photo in 72. I'm glad they slabbed it. I'm surprised they did. This is 77. This is a vault proof. This is a white or a black card. And this is 78. The yellow. And this is 79. I got the yellow and the black. So those are very cool. Just some little oddball issues. I think things like that, I think they supplement the collection pretty good. This is a 77 Venezuela stickers card. And they were put in albums. So almost every time you see one, it's got some glue stick residue on the back. That one's not hard to find. The 68 rookie card version is now. I wish I had bought one years ago, and I didn't. I was thinking to stay up with the U.S. cards, but I would like to get that eventually. These are really, this one here especially, this is a 70 Topps candy lid. Now the 73 was common. I think they actually issued these little tubs of candy, and these were the lids on them. And they had, that was the lid you saw, and when you took off the lid, you see what player you got. And bench, these are, you see them pop up pretty regular. This one, though, was a test issue. There's a 70 and a 72. I don't have the 72 yet. But this is a 1970 candy lid, and that is mega rare. Never see these anymore. The 72 I don't have, and I never see them for sale. And now when they do, they're super, super expensive. But very, very cool card. And then I'm going to show you these last three because I know this is getting long. But these are some of the most exquisite cards I got in my collection. This is a 1973 Topps pinup. These are very hard to find anymore. And when you do, they're super expensive. People put these crazy prices on them. And they just kind of sit in the eBay museum, I call it, when they do pop up. But I believe this wrapped up a piece of gum. They would use these to wrap up gum with. And they were a test issue, and you just can't find these anymore. So I was glad. It's not in the greatest of shape, but I'm just glad to have one. There is a Topps Comics from 73, another oddball issue. I saw one at the National years ago, and they wanted like a couple $1,000s for it, which I thought at the time was pretty crazy. I didn't get it, and I've always regretted that since, as I've never seen one. I haven't seen one for sale in years now. That's another one on my list. That and that 72 candy lid are really the only two vintage Topps cards I need now. This is unusual. The Reds did a bunch of team issue postcards. I assume most teams did. But this is a 1967, the first year. Very hard to find as it is. I got this off a guy on eBay, and he was selling it. I think he inherited from his father or grandfather. And the cool thing about that is it's a hard to find 67 Reds team issued postcard, but it's actually signed by Johnny, and that's a vintage, probably signed in 67 or 68, probably 67. I mean, that's just crazy early bench autograph. Look how young he is, 67. He was drafted in 65. And that's just crazy. So that's one of my prizes in my collection. Even though it's not a top piece, I probably, if I ever sell that, then everything's going. And the last card is the biggest oddball card of the whole bunch, I think. And it might be his best card ever made. I'll let you judge that. I know everybody likes the 69 and the 76 and maybe some of these I just showed you, but this is the Cons Wieners issue from 1968. This was wrapped around a pack of hot dogs. They did have cut lines. Sometimes you see it without the top on it because there is a cut line there in his name. He wasn't even called Johnny Bench then; he was John Bench. Is what they called him by the media, maybe to make him sound older. I don't know. But it's usually cut at the bottom just where you see it. And sometimes the con portion is there, sometimes it's not. And there, if you didn't cut it, it would be almost wrap around because it wrapped around a whole package of hot dogs. And I just think the photo, he's got his, his early signature on it, and I just looks fantastic. I love the pose, taking off the mask. And of all the oddball cards, if you ask me which one I like the best, I'd say this is the one. You can still find them occasionally, but it's gotten super expensive for these. Especially, I've seen a couple of people with the whole wrapper, and that's just crazy. But these go for quite a bit now too. But I just love that card. I think it's beautiful. So anyway, Tony, you wanted to see some oddball stuff. I think this is pretty oddball. I hope you liked it, and anybody else that might be watching this. And I hope I see everybody at the National. Lord willing, I'll make it there. And maybe I can find those a couple more of those Topps cards I need. But thanks for watching. Everybody take care, and we'll try to do it again soon, Lord willing. Bye-bye.